everyone. Welcome to DIY Fashion.
This conference will now be recorded.
Fashion Week. We are also very happy to have professional makeup artist Dedra here with us today, and we are also happy to let you know this segment is fully sponsored by me. I hope you enjoy this wonderful fashion makeup session.
Hi everyone. So the name is Dedra. I am a makeup artist and I was invited here today to have a little discussion with you guys and a small demo using Maybelline products, of course, on how we can get ourselves ready for an online interview or a meeting such as this one. We're all at home and we want to still look presentable when we do have our meetings. We don't want to come on and just look as though, you know, maybe we just rolled out of bed, because at the end of the day we are presenting ourselves, and how we present ourselves is a representation of our brand. Now, I am going to try to address males as well, because there are a few tips and tricks that the guys can implement to make sure that they are looking all presentable, and it's not just about a haircut and a shave. There are things that they can do to make themselves look presentable on camera. So I'm not going to delay. I'm going to thank Maybelline and Superstay Ink Fashion Week for having us, and we're going to get into this immediately. So you have that quick meeting and we are required to be on camera. What do you do? Now, you can take your makeup look two ways. You can either just go all out and do a full face, or if you have a shortened period of time, you'd want to do something quick where you still look presentable and you look as though you made an effort for this particular meeting. All right, I'm just trying to good. So as I said before, today we're going to be discussing Maybelline products, and one of the products I have here with me is the Maybelline Superstay. I'm just checking, is everybody seeing clearly? My camera seems to have gone fuzzy.
It's a little funky.
Yeah, I'm wondering what has happened. The camera has seemed to go on a little fuzzy. Still?
Yeah. When did it exactly go blurry? When you turned on the IG?
No, the IG was on before. The IG has been on from the moment we came on. And just saying hi to everybody looking on Instagram Live as well. But yes, it does seem to be a little bit fuzzy.
Okay. Probably back out, like going back out and coming back in.
I can.
Yeah, we can and log out and log back in, and it should be better. And it would only be a short time because you're already on the system.
Okay. I'm not even seeing how I can leave.
That's okay. I'll help you.
Okay.
So everyone.
I need Alex really quickly, please. I had to come off to the meeting. I didn't know how to get back on. Oh, you see, I keep touching this. Okay. On Instagram. Hi, Crystal. We're just having some technical difficulties here, and I'm just going to pop back on and we're going to start back with the demo for those who are looking on an Instagram Live. I think, yeah. So the camera is just looking really fuzzy. Okay, does it seem to be better there now? Does it seem to be better now?
Much better.
Okay, great.
Yes? Okay.
Okay, great. So my apologies. And we're going to get right back into it. So the foundation I'm going to use for this look is the Maybelline Superstay foundation. Now this is a full coverage foundation. So you can go one of two ways with a look using a foundation like this. What I want to show you today is a trick that turns this very full coverage foundation into something a little bit lighter for, you know, an at-home online meeting. You may not want to go for a full I am here well beat sort of look. You may want to go for something that just makes you look flawless, but not look as though you're wearing a whole lot of makeup. All right, you can go either way with this particular foundation. What I am going to do, however, to turn this foundation into a BB cream, I'm using a tray. You can use your hands, the back of your hands if you wish. I'm just going to put a little bit, just a little touch, see, very, very small amount of that foundation on a tray. As I said, you can use the back of your hands. And I'm going to take this Garnier. This is another product that falls under the Maybelline brand. This is a Garnier moisturizer. It's a gel-based moisturizer. And you can use a little bit of that gel moisturizer. You want to mix it up. And all of a sudden, you now have a foundation that's lighter in coverage and it's going to give you a lot lighter look on the skin rather than you wearing a full coverage foundation. If you want to make it even thinner, you can add more moisturizer to it. My moisturizer of choice, as I said, is the Garnier. You can use whatever moisturizer you have. And I'm going in with a flat top brush and I'm just going to bring a little bit of flawlessness to the face. If you look at the face, for someone who may have slight marks or they have a little discoloration and you just want more of an even tone, you go in with your foundation. And as you can see, it gives the lightest amount of coverage. And it's going to even out your skin tone without you looking as though you've placed quite a lot of product on the skin. Depending on your skin type, you may want to go in with something like a little primer before. It depends. If you do have very oily skin, you may want to go in with a primer that is a little bit more on the mattifying side. But I do believe in allowing the skin to breathe. So if you are at home and you don't plan to leave, you don't have to worry about the heat outside, I would skip that and go in with my homemade BB cream, and that's what I call it, because at this stage it's not as though I want a full face of makeup. I just want to look as though I've made an effort. And I'm just going to run it across the eyes as well, because if you're going to pop on a little bit of eyeshadow, you will want something that's going to be able to hold on to your eyeshadow and to operate almost as an adhesive. So you see, we use less than half pump of foundation and some moisturizer, and you already have a perfectly flawless base. All right, I know I'm hearing messages coming in. I'm going to depend on Amanda to tell us what's happening, because I can't do that and really educate at the same time. All right, so now that you have a flawless base on, the next product I'm going to go in with is the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim, and this comes in 2 shades. So I'm using the dark of the two shades, and what I like with this pencil is that it is extremely thin. If you look at it, see, it's extremely thin, so you can get those very natural hair-like strokes with this. And then the other end has a spoolie, so you're going to use the spoolie to just brush up the hairs. All right, and notice I haven't powdered or anything yet. I'm not going to go in and powder or anything yet. I'm just going to go in and quickly do my brows before I finish the rest of my face. All right, and I'm just going to take the end of that. I'm starting from the base of the brow, that's right here. Starting from the base of the brow, I am going to fill in a line, just outlining the bottom part of the brow. So there's no need to go in and carve out a brow the way you see them carving out on YouTube with concealer and all of that at this time, because remember, it's a much lighter look we are going for. So you're going to go ahead and just using the pencil, just want to go ahead and draw or carve out a nice little line at the base of the brow. And a lot of people complain that their brows look so different. So a quick tip is to, whatever you do on one side, you go immediately and you do on the other side. So don't attempt to fill an entire brow and then do the other one. That's a remedy for them to look different. What you want to do is go right to the other one and do the same thing. Fill out the base of that brow. Alright, and now the bottom of your brows are neatly outlined. Then you want to go to the top, leaving just a small space at the front of the brow. You want to go into the top, and I do have a brow product here that the men can also use. I'll show you all that one after. And you're just going to carve out, using the pencil, that top line. Same thing on the other side. Remember I said we are not doing an entire brow and then going to do the other side. That's a remedy to have them look very different. Alright, so you see they look very uniform at this time. Then you take that pencil and you can go ahead and fill in the gaps using fine strokes. You don't want to be drawing heavily on the brow because you want it to look more natural. Alright, if you like a heavier brow, that's fine, and in that case Maybelline does have brow gels that you can use. Alright, when we get to the front of the brow, or the head of the brow we call it, we want to just draw in here like strokes, so it looks really natural. It doesn't look as though, you know, you've drawn in your brows. It just looks pretty natural. You can take your spoolie at the end and just finish brushing those hairs up. For those with unruly hair, and for the men in the group who probably just, you know, their brows are a little unruly, Maybelline also has this brow fast sculpt. We tend to call it the brow mascara. It's actually a mascara gel for your brows, and they also come in two colors. So the one looks like this, and what you can do is you can, the men can actually just run this through their brow, the ladies as well. Gives you a little bit more color in that brow. But notice I'm not taking it to the actual head of the brow, because I don't want the head of the brow to look too dark. So this is something the guys can reach for, just to keep their brows looking intact. All right. If you want a little bit more color at the end, you can just add just a little bit more. I tend to prefer the ends of the brow look a little bit darker than the head of the brow, because naturally the hairs at the front of most brows would grow a little bit more sparse than they would throughout the brow. All right, I'm going back with my foundation brush and I'm just tapping in there. So now that your brows are done and you have on a base for your foundation, for some ladies, we always want to make sure we look well rested and under the eyes are well prepped or some brightness brought to the center of the face. And for that, we would usually reach for concealer. Now, this is the Maybelline Superstay concealer. It comes like this. And I love the wand in this concealer. And the concealer dries just enough that it doesn't allow under your eyes to look very dry. For some of us who may have, you know, fine lines under the eyes. I am going to take up my concealer now. I'm going to have to open this one. Oh, actually, here we go. So the wand in this concealer makes application very easy. And you want to just pop that right here, because this is the area you want to brighten. I'm not going to run this under the entire eye, just in this area right here, and that will spread. This concealer is a full coverage. I'm going to brighten the entire center of my face. I'm just going to run between the forehead and just a little bit down the center of the nose. All right, I'm taking a brush pretty similar in shape to my concealer brush, to my foundation brush, or some persons tend to use their fingers. You can use your fingers as well. Some persons tend to use a sponge. It's really up to what you feel comfortable using. All right, and I'm just going to pat that product out under the eyes just to bring a little bit of brightness in that area. And you'd notice that even without any eyeshadow, eyeliner, anything of the sort, your face already looks put together. You already look as though you made an effort for this meeting. All right. So it's really about bringing light to the center of the face, and that's why we tend to place the lighter concealer in these areas and just brighten up the entire center of the face. And this Superstay, you realize it gave quite a lot of coverage. That for the small amount that we use, it did spread out and it went all the way out to the edge of the eye, so that you didn't have to place the product. You know, you see them placing quite a lot. You didn't have to do that. And there you go. All right, now for those who may have been scared that by mixing the little bit of moisturizer with the foundation, if you were scared that maybe, you know, it would water it down, it doesn't water it down. What it does is that it shares the consistency so that it now becomes more of a BB cream, where you have a moisturizing product that just gives you just a hint of color, and yet still it dried well on the face. And I have oily combination skin, so someone with oily combination skin can definitely use this once your skin has been prepped sufficiently. And remember, you are at home. All right, so once that is done, we want to set and powder the face. And what I have with me are two powders from the Superstay line. I have my face powder. This would be what my complexion would be, and I have one that's a little bit deeper that I would use to bronze and bring shape to the face. Now, you won't want to go into full contouring for a quick meeting. Remember, this is a quick online meeting, so you're not going to want to go into a full contour, but still want to bring a little bit of shape back to the face, just as you did with the light on the center of the face. All right, so I'm going to take the face color and I am going to apply that in a patting motion all over the face, including under the eye where I placed that concealer. Now, the men can find themselves looking a little bit on the oilier side at times, and men may want to say, okay, I'm not wearing foundation. That's fine, but you can get either a translucent powder or even a face powder and just apply it to the areas that you require. If you do have dark circles and whatnot, you can find a concealer that suits you and you can cover those as well using the same method I showed. And now I'm going to go into that darker shade and I'm going to bring some shade to the face. I'm going to do it on one side first so that you can see what you can see how it brings the shape and why I'm actually bronzing. And I'm also going to place the bronzer right along here. See, right this area where you would either put your contour, or you know, you tend to even up to where you would blush. Yeah. And I'm just gonna bronze the face. So if you look at this side of the face, you'd see a difference in how this side appears as to this side of the face. And that's why we tend to bronze the face, just to bring a little bit more shape back into the face. And I'm going to go ahead and these Superstay products are just that, they're Superstay. They actually last a really long time. For those of us ladies who have the little bit of chin and we want to get rid of it, that's what we're going to do. Just run this underneath here. Alright? So makeup is an illusion. You can hide things with it, you know. Do we have any questions so far that Amanda can see? I am going to run just a little bit on the sides of the nose because I'm not going to bronze the nose, but just on the sides of the nose as though you were going to contour. Slim the nose a bit, you know, shorten the nose if you have to. And your face already looks so pulled together for a meeting. But for those of us who want to go the extra mile, you've done the face, your brows look really good, but you want a little bit more, there's nothing wrong with that. You can get one of these Maybelline Master Chrome. They come in a few shades. I am actually using the Molten Topaz here, and it's a little bit of a highlighter. It brings a little bit of glow to the skin, and I'm just going to place that on the high points of my cheeks right here. So I'm not using any blush, but I'm just going to place that on the high points of my cheeks. Alright? And more or less the face itself is done. You may want to use a little something on the eyes, and obviously you're going to want to wear some sort of lip product. If it's a lip gloss, if it's a simple lip color that just suits you for the day, something nice and natural, you're going to do that as well. So for the eyes, I'm going to show you all a little trick. So remember that same bronzing powder we used? I'm going to take that bronzing powder with a fluffy blending brush, and I am actually going to run that just in the crease of my eyes. So it's actually going to create a shape. The same way you created a shape with the bronzer on the outside of the face, you're now creating a shape with your eyes. And you see how immediately this eye looks a little bit more defined, or the crease looks a lot more defined than the other side. Alright? And you're running that just on the edges and up into the crease. And this, as I said, it's just a quick way to do some eye work. Now we are not leaving the lids bare because we do have these small Maybelline, the City Mini palettes, and this one is actually one of my faves. This little shimmer shadow right here, you can either use your fingers. I'm not a fingers person, but I know a lot of people tend to use their fingers. You can use your fingers and you can just drop in with a little bit of that shimmer shade in the center, and just pop that on the eyelid, on the mobile part of the lid, meaning the part of the lid that actually has the ball there. That's where you want to pass that from the inside, and you're going to pass that just on the mobile part of the lid alone. And this is a simple look that you can, as we said, do for an online meeting, or let's say you have to run out unexpectedly, you can do that as well. But really it's about making sure you present yourself well. This looks a lot better than how I just came onto the camera, simply because it's not more of a representation of who I am, and that's what you do when you put your best face forward. You are giving them more of a representation of who you are. And once you are seen as having made an effort, then persons are a little bit more receptive to you because they take you seriously. I mean, it's some people think it's unfair that you are judged by how you appear and not just by what comes out of your mouth, but unfortunately that's the world we live in. All right, so for eyeliner, I'm going to use this Maybelline Studio Tattoo liner. This is a new one in black. I have one that's open here, and it comes in different colors. And because this is a softer look, we don't want a very harsh line with your eyeliner. And I'm just going to run it to the base of the lash here. And I'm going to take an angle brush and I'm going to smudge that black line out. See, the difference between this eye and this one is immediately visible. All right, so I'm going to do it again, showing you again. I'm just going to run this to the base of that lash line there. And it's a really nice soft pencil, so it's really appropriate for this because you can take your time and smudge it out. And again, I'm taking an angle brush and I'm just smudging out that line. It gives a nice softer appearance. Okay, and now it's time for mascara. Some persons tend to like a little eyeliner underneath here. It's not necessary all the time, and I'm not going to go for that look today. If you prefer an eyeliner in your waterline, that eyeliner works really well and does not smudge or run, so you can go ahead and use that as well. What I am going to do is I'm going to use this Maybelline, because I'm not going to put on false lashes for a quick online meeting. All right, I am going to use the Falsies Lash Lift. This is a newer one from Maybelline, and I have to tell you all, of all the Maybelline mascaras, I fell for this one, and you'll see why. I'll do one eye for you first and you'll see. So I'm just gonna make sure and coat. Oh, I'm gonna coat the lashes well. And you just allow that to dry up a bit. And if you do have, and this is for those who do have one, if you have an eyelash curler, you let that dry just a bit. You can go in with your eyelash curler. You go like 3 pumps, 1, 2, 3, and all of a sudden your eyelashes are very lifted. All right, you can take it and go over it again with a second coat. But this actually looks as though you're wearing falsies, so you're seeing the difference. Okay, so that's the new Maybelline, the Falsies Lash Lift, and it's supposed to give you it's supposed to be their version of that lash lift that people pay hundreds of dollars to go get done. and my lashes look lifted by just using the mascara and a lash curler. Alright, and it's dried a bit. I'm just gonna go in 1, 2, 3 pumps of my lash curler, and there I go. And you look almost as though you're wearing falsies. For my bottom lash, I'm just gonna place a little bit, because I didn't use any eyeliner at the base there. As I said, I prefer not to, but I am going to use a little mascara, being careful not to smudge or touch the skin at all. And if you do, a good trick is to leave it, allow it to dry, and then you get yourself a Q-tip and you just flick it off once it has dried. Alright, I'm going to go back with just a little touch of the Master Chrome, and I'm just going to place a little bit right here again in the brow bone, right there in the brow bone, and that's just to give more dimension to the face, again a little bit more shine to the face. And I'm going to go in now with 2 more products from Maybelline to finish off this look, and those would be the lip products. For the guys, I would suggest you all just get a lip balm. I do know, I'm sure Maybelline has lip balms that you all can use. I'm not going to encourage you all to wear lipsticks unless that's your jam. If that's your jam, feel free, go right ahead. I'm going to use 2 products from Maybelline, and this one is the Superstay Ink Crayon. Why I like this crayon a lot, packaging is wonderful. Ladies, you can just throw this in your bag and go with it. But this also comes with a little sharpener at the end. So let's say I want to use this as a lip liner, which is what I'm going to use it for today. I can just sharpen it and make it more pointed if that's what I require. Now, I don't need to make it any more pointed than it is right now, but just letting you know there is a sharpener at the end that you can use to make that a little bit more pointed. And I'm going to line my lips first with it. And now that I've lined my lip, I tend to like traditional lipsticks. I do know a lot of people now like a lot of the liquid lipsticks. I tend to like a traditional lipstick. It's softer on my lips, and I'm going in with one of the new Maybelline Color Sensation, and the shade is 133 Almond Hustle. Nice nude sort of color, and I'm just gonna pop that now in the center of the lips. And this, folks, is how I would present myself at an online meeting. Someone is saying on Instagram that they can't stop looking at the lashes. This lash product is really, really good. As I said, Maybelline makes some of the best lash products that you will come across, but I think they stole my heart with this one. I have a lot of Maybelline lash mascaras, but this one, yeah, because of the lift it gives. And if you are confident using a lash curler, well, even better yet. And lash curlers are pretty simple to use. You just follow that space there, you pop your eyelash in between there, and you squeeze. You know, you're not squeezing the skin, it's the hair. You're getting it onto the hair, and you're just gonna pump that between 3 to 5 times, and it literally lifts your lashes. But yes, this is the look that I would present myself with, or this is how I would present myself for an online meeting. I'm not leaving home, but I have to discuss my business, and I want to look presentable to the persons who I'm meeting with, because I am a representation of my brand, and you are a representation of your brand, both male and female. So these are just little things that you can use to make yourself look online ready and put your best face forward, and all using Maybelline products. And what is really good is the Maybelline products are truly versatile in that you can pick them up at the drugstores, any drugstore. You can get it at Pennywise, you can get it at Starlight, Bargains, Pharmacy, Super Farm. They're sold readily all over. You can get them. And the thing is, they are versatile. As I showed you before, a full coverage foundation became a BB cream. Alright, full coverage foundation, we turned that into a BB cream just by using a little bit of moisturizer, their moisturizer, no less. We also took a face powder and just used a couple shades darker and used that as a bronzer. So their regular face powder can do double duty as a face powder as well as a bronzer for your skin once you can get the correct shade. Their Superstay pens, lip crayon. This can be used as a lip liner as well. You don't have to use this as an entire lipstick if you don't want to. Alright, but you can use it as a lip liner as well. I tend to use these quite a lot as lip liners, especially as it has that sharpener at the end. You have the brow scar, as I call them. So mascara gels for the brow. It helps to keep the hairs in place for the gentlemen. For the ladies, same thing. If your brows are a little bushier but you want to tame them, these are excellent for that. These new Maybelline Brow Fast Sculpt. I don't know if you're seeing it there properly. But yes, these are excellent. Also available at all pharmacies and Pennywise, anywhere that carries the Maybelline line. You can find them. They're excellent stores as well. What else do we have? Right, and you have concealer that's very easy to use. You could have also used this in the right shade, spot conceal, if you had spots on the face that you wanted to correct. Now, I would tell you, if you have to do that before you put on your foundation. So you'd want to spot correct and you'd go in and pat in your foundation. Notice I didn't rub the foundation in. I used my foundation brush and I more or less patted that into the skin. That allows the foundation or the products to really mesh with the skin, and once that happens, it stays on for a lot longer. So if you have another unexpected meeting later on in the day, you're still very presentable. Alright, so that's it for how I would present myself, or how I would encourage you to present yourself to an online meeting that you may have to attend. Alright, I am going to sign off from Instagram at this point. It was nice having you guys on Instagram, taking a look at what we are doing. Port of Spain Fashion Week is going to keep this live up on their IGTV, I believe. But thank you all for watching and tuning in. And I'm now coming in to answer some questions on the GoTo meeting itself. So bye. Thank you guys for watching.